What do you do when someone looks at you like you don't matter? When their words cut or their silence screams disrespect? Do you fight back? Do you shrink away? Or do you respond with something deeper? In a world full of noise and ego, Stoicism offers a radical alternative: calm power. Today we're diving into 5 powerful ways to handle people who don't respect you, not by reacting, but by rising above. These aren't tricks or cheap tactics. These are mindset shifts drawn from ancient wisdom, tools that help you reclaim your dignity without saying a word. If this is your first time at Stoic Pulse, don't forget to subscribe to join me on my journey to living a steady, calm, and courageous life in a challenging world. And if you find this knowledge worthy of spreading, leave a like or comment to see more like this. If you've ever been dismissed, overlooked, or underestimated, this video is for you. Let's begin. Number 1. Embrace the silent stare. Let's kick things off with one of my favorite, subtly fierce tactics: the silent stare. You might think, really? Just staring? Absolutely, trust me. When someone is blatantly rude or disrespectful, nothing unsettles them more than a calm, steady, unflinching gaze. Here's why it's effective. Disrespectful people thrive on getting a reaction. They want you to stumble, get defensive, or snap back, pulling you into their chaos to make you doubt yourself or feel diminished. But when you meet their behavior with a wordless, expressionless stare, the dynamic shifts and you hold the power. I know it might seem a bit passive-aggressive, but hear me out. There's something profoundly disarming about refusing to give the reaction they crave. A silent stare says, without a single word, "I'm not engaging in your game." It's a way to reclaim control without lifting a finger. Sometimes that quiet gaze is the most resounding no you'll ever deliver. Let me share a story. During a group meeting, one person kept interrupting me, talking over me like he was determined to dominate. You know the type: loud, overconfident, acting like everyone's there for his brilliance. I tried being polite, interjecting gently, but he wouldn't stop. So I leaned back, crossed my arms, and fixed my eyes on him. No blinking, no expression, just a steady 5-second stare. I said nothing. The tension grew palpable. Everyone at the table turned their attention to him, waiting for his next move. And guess what? He faltered, mumbled, and avoided my gaze. He didn't interrupt me again that meeting. That silent stare accomplished more than words ever could. Beyond that moment, he began treating me with more respect, as if he realized I wasn't someone he could steamroll. Sometimes you show people who you are without saying a thing. This isn't just a tactic. It's a deeper principle. When you use the silent stare, you remind both them and yourself that you don't have to play by their rules. You owe no one an emotional outburst or justification. You don't need to prove your worth to those who can't see it. This is about protecting your peace, your space, and your self-respect. Too often, disrespect makes us feel compelled to defend ourselves or brush it off to avoid conflict. But the silent stare, it's not aggressive. It's grounded, unshaken, and firmly in control of your emotions. It also holds people accountable. Those who disrespect often do so thoughtlessly, rarely facing consequences. When you give them that calm, piercing look, it's like holding up a mirror to their behavior. You're not saying they're wrong. You're showing them. Most people squirm under that reflection. I've found the silent stare does more than halt their behavior. It boosts your own sense of worth. I used to nervously laugh off rude remarks or justify myself when challenged. It was exhausting. But learning to hold a silent, steady gaze, letting the room fill with that quiet power, changed everything. It's a subtle act of defiance, a quiet proclamation of self-respect. So, when someone's rude, pushing your boundaries, or trying to diminish you, try the silent stare. Look at them. Let them feel the weight of your calm. You'll be amazed at how uneasy it makes them and how empowered it leaves you. The silent stare declares, I respect myself too much to be pulled into your negativity. That's a message worth delivering. Number 2, embrace silence as your answer. Here's a potent, often overlooked weapon. Silence. When someone disrespects you, one of the most commanding responses is to offer no response at all. You might think, silence? That feels like letting them off easy. But here's the truth. Silence is anything but weak. It's a deliberate choice, often the boldest statement you can make. When someone hurls negativity your way, they're trying to drag you into their chaos, to make you feel small or defensive. By refusing to engage, letting their words linger unanswered in the air, you force them to face their own behavior alone. That silence, it's deafening. Here's why it works so well. Disrespectful people crave a reaction. They're fishing for a fight, a justification, or any validation for their actions. Silence, however, declares, I'm not giving you my energy. By staying quiet, you maintain control of the moment, signaling that their disrespect doesn't deserve your time or words. Sometimes, the most powerful way to speak is by saying nothing at all. It's a subtle yet firm reminder that they're not worth your attention. Let me share a story. I once dealt with someone who loved making snarky jabs, disguising insults as playful banter. You know the type, always aiming to get a rise out of you while pretending it's harmless. One day, he made a pointed remark about my works, clearly trying to provoke me. Normally, I might have defended myself or shot back, but this time, I chose differently. I raised an eyebrow, looked at him, and said nothing. I let his words hang in the awkward silence. He faltered, looked away, mumbled something, and moved on. That was the last time he tried that with me. My silence showed him there was no power to gain when I didn't react. There's a deeper truth here. Choosing silence is choosing yourself. It says, my peace is worth more than your opinion of me. That's not just empowering, it's transformative. We often feel pressured to respond, to explain or defend ourselves to people who don't care about respecting us. But silence refuses to play their game. It's a stand you take without effort, a way to protect your energy by filtering out their negativity. Silence acts like a shield, preserving your inner world from the chaos others try to impose. I'll be honest, learning to use silence wasn't easy for me. I used to think staying quiet made me seem passive or weak. But I noticed something. Every time I argued back with someone disrespectful, I ended up drained and frustrated. When I chose silence, letting their remarks pass like background noise, I felt lighter, stronger, more in command. It was like reclaiming a piece of my power with every moment I didn't react. Here's my challenge to you. The next time someone disrespects you, pause. Take a deep breath, look them in the eye, and say nothing. Let your silence carry the weight. You'll be surprised at how uneasy it makes them and how liberating it feels for you. Silence as your answer isn't just a tactic. It's a declaration that you value your peace above their drama. Sometimes saying nothing speaks louder than any words. Number 3. Stop explaining your choices. Here's a truth that hits deep. You don't owe anyone an explanation for how you live your life. How often have you made a decision only for someone to demand, "Why'd you do that?" Or, "Why didn't you choose differently?" It's as if people think they're entitled to a breakdown of your every move. Let's be real. They're not. Your choices belong to you, and you don't need to justify them to anyone. It might sound bold, but here's the deal. When people question your decisions, they're often not seeking to understand. They're looking to judge, to poke holes, or to feel better about their own paths by making you doubt yours. You don't have to play that game. When you stop explaining yourself, you reclaim your freedom and show the world that your life isn't up for debate. Let's dig into why people feel so entitled to your reasoning. Often, it's because your choices challenge their worldview. Maybe you're taking a bold risk they're too afraid to try. Or you're breaking from norms they cling to. Your independence unsettles them, and demanding explanations is their attempt to pull you back into their comfort zone. But here's the key. Their discomfort isn't your responsibility. Your life isn't a public forum requiring justification. I remember when I switched careers, leaving a stable job for something riskier but more fulfilling. The moment people heard, it was like I'd announced I was moving to another planet. Questions came flooding in. Why leave a secure job? How will you make it work? At first, I'd explain, sharing my passion and plans, but no matter what I said, it never seemed enough. The more I justified, the more they questioned, making me feel like I had to prove myself. Then, one day, I tried something new. When someone asked, "Why'd you quit that job?" I simply said, "Because I wanted to." No details, no strategy, just that. The silence that followed was golden. They didn't know how to respond, and soon they stopped prying. Here's the beauty of not explaining. It's liberating. It's you standing firm in your truth, knowing your decisions are valid because you made them. When you stop justifying, you free yourself from the weight of others' expectations. You stop wasting energy on endless defenses and start channeling it into living the life you choose. There's a powerful Stoic lesson here. Your choices don't need external approval. By refusing to explain, you signal confidence in your path, showing that the only validation you need is your own. I've been there, giving detailed breakdowns to win people over, only to second-guess myself later. But I made a pact. If someone questions my choices, I'll offer a brief answer, maybe a sentence. If they push, I smile and move on. Life became lighter, and my confidence in my decisions grew. So, here's my challenge to you. The next time someone probes your choices, resist the urge to justify. Say, "That's what felt right for me," or "Because I chose to." Let the silence do the rest. You'll feel stronger, more in control, and at peace knowing your choices don't need anyone's stamp of approval. They're enough because they're yours. Number 4. Keep your distance. Let's be honest. Sometimes the best way to deal with people who disrespect you is to simply step back. It might sound harsh, maybe even a bit cold, but here's the hard truth. Not everyone deserves a front row seat in your life. If someone consistently crosses your boundaries, makes you feel small, or radiates negativity, one of the healthiest choices you can make is to create space between you and them. This isn't about holding grudges or being dramatic. It's about valuing yourself enough to protect your peace. Keeping your distance doesn't mean ignoring people or being cruel. It's about choosing wisely where you invest your time and energy. Picture your life as an exclusive club. Not everyone gets a VIP pass. If someone's constantly disrespecting you, why keep them close? Distance offers clarity, helping you see the situation for what it is, free from emotional manipulation or guilt. When you stay near those who disrespect you, it's like inviting them to feast on your mental and emotional energy. Then we wonder why we feel drained, anxious, or frustrated. Creating space is an act of self-preservation. It protects your mental well-being, preserves your peace, and makes room for relationships that uplift you. Letting go of guilt about distancing yourself is freeing. You're not obligated to keep disrespectful people in your circle. I once had a friend who always slipped snide remarks into our conversations about my career, my relationships, even my music taste. At first I thought, that's just their personality, and brushed it off, assuming I was overreacting. But those jabs started to sting, and I found myself tensing up around them, bracing for the next subtle dig. One day, I decided to change things. I didn't make a scene or confront them. I just reduced our time together. Instead of weekly hangouts, I saw them once a month. The difference was striking. I felt lighter, freer, and in that space, I realized how toxic that friendship had been. Distancing myself gave me the clarity to see I deserved friends who built me up, not tore me down. Some will call this selfish saying, but they're family, or you've been friends forever. It can feel uncomfortable, even taboo, to admit someone close isn't good for you. Society pushes loyalty and forgiveness, but at what cost? Here's the truth. Protecting your peace isn't selfish. It's essential. You're not here to be anyone's emotional punching bag or constant validation source. Sometimes, the clearest way to show you've had enough is by quietly stepping away. This runs deeper. Keeping your distance declares that you're your own priority. You don't have to play the role others assign you, nor do you owe anyone access to your mind, time, or emotions. By creating space, you're stating that your well-being comes first, a powerful act of self-respect. Distance also lets you refocus on relationships that matter, ones that inspire confidence and fulfillment. The less time you spend with those who diminish you, the less power they have over your thoughts and mood. I used to feel guilty about pulling back, worrying I'd seem uncaring or overly sensitive. But I learned that distancing myself wasn't just about removing negativity. It was about creating room for growth. When I gave myself permission to step away from disrespectful people, I felt a new sense of freedom, with more energy, peace, and clarity about who I wanted in my life. So here's my challenge. Think of someone who constantly disrespects you, making you feel drained or small. Ask yourself, do they deserve this much of my energy? Then, take a step back and feel the relief of prioritizing your peace. Number 5. Hold your head high. Let's talk about a timeless, powerful move. Holding your head high. It might sound like simple advice, but trust me, this is pure strength when facing those who disrespect you. When someone tries to tear you down, they're counting on making you feel small, hoping you'll shrink, avert your gaze, or doubt yourself. But when you stand tall, shoulders back, head held high, you declare without words, I know my worth, and nothing you say can diminish me. That's a message that resonates. Here's why this works. Confidence unsettles disrespectful people. They thrive on the idea that their words or actions can control you, sway your emotions. When you refuse to let their disrespect touch you, standing firm and unshaken, you disrupt their game. Your unwavering presence, literally holding your head high, shows them they have no power to pull you down. It throws them off, forcing them to question their influence, not your value. I once dealt with someone who loved tossing subtle insults my way at every gathering. You know the type, always with a smirk, their jokes cut in just a bit too deep. It used to get under my skin, and I dread seeing them, feeling like I needed to deflect or defend myself. Then, one day, I decided I was done shrinking. I showed up, head high, shoulders squared, and when they threw another jab, I met their eyes, smiled, and carried on, as if their words were nothing. The result? They backed off. It was as if they sensed their comments couldn't reach me anymore, and their power faded. There's a magnetic quality to holding your head high. It's like a shield that says, I'm untouchable. Here's the bold part. People who disrespect you often can't stand your confidence. It challenges their narrative that they're above you or have something over you. Your self-assurance can feel almost defiant to them, especially in a world that struggles with those who are unapologetically sure of themselves. That might make you a target. But here's the truth. Holding your head high isn't for them. It's for you. It's about living as if you know your value, with nothing to prove. This is deeper than posture. It's a mindset. When you hold your head high, you're claiming your self-worth, declaring that you're valuable and deserving of respect, no matter what anyone says. It's a radical act of self-respect, reminding you that your worth isn't earned from others. It's yours to own. The more you practice this, the less others' disrespect will even register. You'll be too grounded in your own path, too secure in who you are, to let their attempts shake you. This didn't come naturally to me. I used to slouch, avoid eye contact, and make myself small when faced with criticism or dismissal. It felt safer to fade away. But I noticed something. Every time I stood tall, refusing to let negativity seep in, I grew stronger. It was like I was reinforcing my own worth with every moment I didn't bow. Holding your head high is mental posture too. Walk into every space like you belong, and don't shrink to fit someone else's idea of you. If a snarky comment comes, let it slide off. Their words reflect their insecurities, not your reality. Here's my challenge. The next time disrespect hits, whether a subtle dig or an outright insult, don't react. Take a deep breath, lift your shoulders, hold your head high, and look them in the eye as if to say, I see you, but I'm above this. You'll feel a surge of confidence, a calm strength from knowing their words hold no sway over you. Holding your head high isn't just about standing tall. It's a silent proclamation of your self-respect, saying, I know who I am, and nothing you do can change that. There you have it. 5 bold strategies to handle those who fail to respect you and perhaps never will. Life's too precious to waste, bending over backward for people who can't see your value. You don't need anyone's approval to stand firm, guard your peace, and live on your terms. People will test your boundaries, question your choices, and try to drag you down. That's just the reality of the world. But here's the truth. You decide what energy you allow into your life, and you set the standard for how others treat you. The beauty of these approaches, using the silent stare, embracing silence, refusing to explain, keeping your distance, and holding your head high, is that they shift the focus back to you. The more you prioritize your self-respect, the more you attract those who uplift and value you, rather than those who diminish you. It all begins with claiming your power and letting everything else fall into place. So, stand tall, protect your peace with silence when it serves you, and never apologize for stepping away from what doesn't honor you. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to Stoic Pulse for more insights on thriving with confidence. Share this video with someone who needs a reminder to stand firm, and drop a comment below with your story. How have you handled disrespect or set boundaries? I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay strong, take care, and remember, respect starts with you.